guys, it's Jordan Byers, and today I'm gonna be doing a little bit of a makeup tutorial for a prom makeup look. So this is the type of makeup look that I would call a universal prom style, fancy style, glam makeup look that is not natural, obviously, because it's full glam, but at the same time, it's really wearable. It can be worn with any color of dress that you decide to wear, but it's also timeless and classic and just effortlessly beautiful. So while this isn't one of my most bold, fun, colorful, crazy looks, it is one of my more, you know, timeless and beautiful type of makeup looks. So let's just get straight into this. So the very first thing I'm gonna do is prime my eyelids with the Tarte Shape Tape Eye Primer, and make sure that this is a super long wearing base before we go and party all night. And then for this whole makeup look, I'm gonna be using the Anastacio Soft Glam palette just because all of the colors in this palette are super universal. Anybody can use these. This is a timeless color palette, so this is the palette I'm using today. Basically, how I like to start out blending my eyeshadows in is I like to keep the primer wet. So I don't set it or anything, I keep the primer wet, and I'm just going to blend this product in circular motions over in the corner of my crease, and just keep blending this upwards and around my crease area. And then going in with a bit smaller of a fluffy brush, I'm going to take the color called Sienna and do the exact same thing, but kind of keeping it lowered. We want to create depth to the crease, so we're just going to keep going in with those circular blending motions and roll with it. So then now is when I'm going to go ahead and do my little brow bone highlight. I'm going to use this shade called Fairy right down here. It's just a really beautiful gold color, and I'm just going to pop that up there just to define where my brow bone is, because we don't want the shadow to kind of get lost up in our eyebrows. We want to make sure that we still have a defined looking brow. And so after I do that, I like to take a smaller fluffy brush and just kind of run along where I put the highlighted brow bone color and then the edge of the shadow, you know, crease color, just so that it blends extra nicely. We don't want too harsh of a line of highlight for our brow bone, because then it just doesn't look very good. So I'm gonna go in with this really dark brown shade called Cypress Umber with a much smaller blending brush than I was using the past 2 times for the crease, and we're gonna focus this really intensely just on the outer corner. And instead of bringing this straight into our crease line, I'm taking this high up, but not even halfway up, like not even halfway through the crease, but just focusing this in that outer V and then up right here and making sure it's all blended out. So I place that color. Now I'm wiping off my brush on a towel, or use a little switch flip to take off a lot of that product, and then just make sure you blend out the edge right there. And now is when we're going to go in and cut the crease. I'm taking some NARS concealer and putting a little bit on the back of my hand, just like so. And then I'm just taking a little flat dome looking brush like this, and I'm gonna pick up the concealer and then pat this right on the lash line, because now watch. We're putting this not on the whole lid, but just 3/4 of that lid space, and then look up. That's the line where we want our crease to go. So now we're just going to go in and fill in that space with the concealer, make it extra sharp and everything. So now that we have that blanked out surface for us to pop a color on top of, I'm going to take this Revlon Photo Ready Eye Art, and I'm gonna take the metallic side of this. It's like a really beautiful brown, golden, bronzy metallic shade, and I'm just gonna pop this right on top. So I'm gonna let that dry for a second, but while I'm waiting for it to dry, I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyebrows really quick. And now that my eyebrows are done and this metallic liquid shadow has dried down, I'm going to take this gold color called Bronze and just pack that on top. And so now that that gold is on top, just take a very small blending brush, dip back into that deep brown color that is on the crease, but just a little bit. Tap off the excess and kind of just make sure that they blend cohesively. So then now is the time where we are going to clean up the edges and also put on our foundation face. So I'm just going to pop on this Becca Ever Matte Poreless Priming Perfector, excuse me. I think it's really important to be matte for prom because you're gonna be in photos and you don't wanna get greasy and like shiny or anything. So I prefer to be extra matte for photos and use a lot of matte products on my face so that when I do put on my highlighter, I can concentrate where I really want the glow to come from. So that's why I prefer to use a really matte base. Now for the foundation, I'm using the brand new Rimmel Lasting Finish 25-Hour Breathable Long Wear Foundation. We're just gonna pop this on top. Now for concealer, I'm using the Milk Makeup Concealer, and I'm going to pop this obviously underneath the eyes, a little on the chin and the Cupid's bow area, on the forehead, down the nose. And then I'm weird like this, but I like to put it over my eyebrows as well. And then I'm just going to set my face with the Maybelline Fit Me powder. I'm going to take the very first color we used, which is that burnt orange shade, and just blend a little bit under my lash line. And then I'm going to take a really thin brush and back in with that deep brown color, and we're just gonna stamp that along the lower lash line. Halfway, I would say, is good. So now let's finish off our actual face makeup. I'm going to bronze my face with the Take Home the Bronze Anti-Orange Bronzer in the shade Oscar by The Balm. And then to make sure that we look like we're a human being, I'm popping on the Hot Mama Blush by The Balm. I think that no one should ever skip blush because it brings back a little bit of color onto your face and makes you look a little bit more natural, but you know, it's all personal preference. So this is when we get into highlighter. I'm using the OMFG Cosmetics highlighter in Baby Brittle Star. This is probably one of the most blinding highlighters I've used in a while, but like, hold up, like let's look at this. She doesn't. We're doing this, and then I'm gonna pop it on other places on my face as well, like the Cupid's bow and the tip of my nose. And then I'm also going to take this highlighter and pop it in my inner corner and almost kind of bringing it into a little bit of my lower lash line. Then I'm also just going to take a teeny tiny bit of this and pop it in the highest corner of my eyebrow. I'm just taking any black liner and kind of pulling up my lashes like so, and just drawing. And then I'm also going to line my bottom waterline with this nude little eyeliner, because this makes your bottom lashes pop. This will make your eyes appear larger, but I like using a nude liner for this instead of a white one, because the white one is just way too harsh and we're trying to give a little subtle effect. See how that just opened up my eyes just a tad without being so noticeable like white eyeliner? So now for the lashes, the whole point of this makeup tutorial is to be easy, but also no lashes required. If you want to go with lashes, go for it, but I understand that lashes are really difficult to do for the majority of people, so that's why I created this look without lashes. So I'm just gonna go ahead and curl my lashes first. This is very important if you aren't going to be wearing false lashes, because we want to make our lashes look as long and as false looking as possible. So now I'm taking my Bad Gal Bang mascara by Benefit and just milking the crap out of my lashes. And then with a waterproof mascara. This is Scuba by The Balm. I'm just going to pop a little bit on my lower lash line as well. So because this eye makeup look is very universal, I left it up to you guys to, you know, choose whatever type of lip color you want based on what your dress is. If you're wearing a purple dress, I would say do like a nude or a, you know, purpley toned mauve-y nude. If you're doing red dress, I would say stick with a nude color or even match your dress to your red lipstick. You can pretty much do whatever you want when it comes to the lips based on what color you're wearing, but for me, my dress is black, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop on this really bright cherry red lip color. And then the very last step is to set your face, girl. You must set your face. If you recreate this look, tag me in your pictures. My username for Twitter and Instagram is @JordanE_Byers. I also have a second account on Instagram that's kind of more for my lifestyle stuff, and that is @JordanE_Byers too. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Don't forget to subscribe down below to become part of the #Joby squad, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.